Hi there, welcome. It's SVPod. Stanford Steve still has a beard. I'm still very freckly. I have a lot on the card, which is surprising.
Yeah.
Which is good.
What do you got there?
What? I got an old phone.
Oh, you got an old one?
Just got a new phone.
Okay.
Just haven't gone to got it fired up yet.
You could do that at home now.
I understand that. There's some things I want to sort.
Speaking of.
Things I want to sort out. I'm going to sort that out. Speaking of home, we're back, and I would like to begin with this truth, all right? There are certain ironclad truths in life, non-negotiable, nothing you can do to get around them. And I'd like to begin with these two words that are a truth. Moving sucks. We've graduated from the days of, hey, I'm going to get some pizza and beers, couple of pickup trucks, the guy with an SUV. You guys mind moving the couches for me?
Please bring your pickup truck.
Been down that road. We all have, and that absolutely sucks. We know that. Have gotten to a point in life where I'm not the one trying to figure out if the couch can get through the door. I'm not doing a ton of the heavy lifting, but I was doing some lifting and some carrying, and it doesn't matter if other people are doing it. Moving sucks.
Yeah.
But at the end of this particular move, we were home.
Mm-hmm.
And a week ago Monday, we sat right here, and it was an ongoing process. And let me tell you, Steve, it continued all day Monday. It started again Tuesday morning. It was all day Tuesday. It continued again Wednesday. It was all day Wednesday. It continued into Thursday. It's still going on to a degree, but mostly we're home. And I kept waiting for that moment where, I mean, we slept in the house, and you're thinking there's just going to be this epiphany, the song is played, you hear the angels sing, but most of you is like, oh God, we got to get up because the thing's coming tomorrow. And it didn't happen. And then Sunday night, fired up the grill, walking into the house with a plate of meat. Nothing elaborate, just burgers and dogs. Stanford Steve will be pleased. No deviled eggs. There were no deviled eggs.
Conversation about that.
It was passionate conversation about deviled eggs. A lot of deviled egg haters out there.
I was going to say 50-50.
You got a lot of deviled egg hate. It's a smell thing.
Yeah.
And a consistency thing. There's a lot going on there. But I'm walking in, it's a plate of meat. The sun is going down at the end of a very hot day. Heat wave, hate him. Red is walking side by side with me, same way Otis used to, because let me tell you, if you got the grill going and the smell of meat's in the air, this dog sat, and I tell you, he had a drool thing that went from his upper lip to the ground, of unbroken stream. At some point, I was just like, I got to give you something. I gave a little wedge at the burger and threw it to him. But walking into the house at that point, that felt like, I'll be damned, we made it. You know, we're home. That felt like the moment that it landed. For sure. It just felt like normal life. Mm-hmm. And so little of life has felt normal. We talked about it since this happened a year and almost a half ago. Just don't underestimate the value of home. Don't underestimate just what a simple thing like that feels like on a summer Sunday night when you could go to your grill and sit down and eat some burgers and dogs and be with your family in your house. And then people don't want to take baths, and then there's mayhem, and it all feels normal in a great way, you know? So we got there. But moving sucks. There's no getting around it. I do want to do something real quick here. I just want to give a couple of shout outs to some people we dealt with. These are companies and I told them both, look, these are folks you don't want to meet because they're folks you meet if something's going terribly wrong. But there are two companies in particular. One of them is called First Choice. The other one's called CRDN. They took great care of our stuff. They took great care of us. They if we needed something throughout this time, they got it to us without complaint. No was never the answer. And they spent hours going through stuff with us. And you meet these people on as bad a day as you're going to have because your house is gone. And then they're there on the day that's as good a day as it can be. They're there the day that they can help get your stuff back in your house. So I just want them to hear me say what I told them privately. I appreciate y'all. You were first rate, first class. and I hope I never see you again. Because if I do, it means something dreadful's going on. But yeah, we're back.
Couple boxes left.
There are boxes, still boxes, but there were some great finds. Opened up a box and found some photographs from the Vegas days from 25 years ago. Let me tell you, bad choices were made. But there was some laughter.
By multiple people that I've come to meet.
Not multiple. All of them. There are only murderers in this room, as the old saying goes from Road to Perdition.
Oh.
There were only murderers in those rooms. But, yeah, it's a lot. I should say shout to BOA as well. They've been our builder, and they continue to be. They're like family at this point. They might just stay and live with us.
Yeah, I was going to say, they probably built a side room for you.
They deserve to stay. They all built it. Incredible folks from them. And it's just everybody that helped us was awesome. So, yeah, we're back in the joint. And your weekend was better than mine.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I'm not going to lie.
And you don't have to. Don't lie. Tell me how good's 30A.
First time at 30A, and, you know, my group of guys, we pick a different spot in the country every year. And we've been to Orcas Island all the way out past Seattle, Vancouver area. We've been up to Maine. We've been to the Upper Peninsula. We've been to Wisconsin, those lakes, all over. And this year it was 30A. And we go in, we do a little homework, but it's more of let's just find out the place for ourselves. And our buddy Brandon was there for 2 weeks prior, of course. I hit him up because I knew he had gone there. And
LSU Brandon?
Yeah, LSU Brandon. Yeah,
okay.
Come on. He knows the deal.
I imagine he's got a section of beach that
belongs to him. I didn't even ask where he was. But anyway, he put me in touch with a couple guys. James, I appreciate all your help with, leading us the way. But, I never been down that far. Been to Tuscaloosa, been to Auburn a bunch of times, been to Tallahassee, and it's like in the middle. So like the idea of where people are from, they're from there. There's people that have seen it build into what it is now, but it's just SEC mishmash. Like, you went to high school in Georgia, go Dogs? No, I went to Alabama, Roll Tide. And then it's, you're from Alabama, went to high school in whatever, Huntsville. Yeah, I went to Auburn, War Eagle. It's like, all right, and then it's like trying to piece together, like, all right, wait, they are from there, but they went there. And it's just it's an awesome, awesome area. Coops was asking me if I needed to go to SEC Media Day. I was like, I was just in 30A. I'm good with the SEC talk.
Unofficial.
I don't know
SEC
how,
media.
but I think all 16 teams are there, so they're going to get into the playoff. And then there's a bunch of Texas people there too that were first timers, and it was really cool to talk. But the way it is, because like I said, I've never been there. You fly into Destin. That drive from Destin to, let's say, Santa Rosa Beach, not a lot. Maybe a Publix, maybe a McDonald's, and that's it.
If there's a Publix, that's all you need.
Oh, yeah.
Mac and cheese, chicken fingers, subs.
Yeah.
Call it a day.
The Publix on 98 got violated by us. We'll just say that.
I miss Publix so much. And you hear this if you're from someplace that doesn't have Publix, and you're like, how good could a grocery store be?
Pretty darn good.
Publix.
The variety.
Publix.
And the quality of the variety.
I got it. Publix on Edgewater in Orlando. I love you. Miss you.
But, it's got golf. We don't do the golf thing. There's plenty of golf down there where...
None of your dudes play, right?
No. I mean, they play, but not on this trip.
Because this is just a fellas trip.
It's just, hang out. We got pool at the house.
Quality of the beach assessed.
Best I've ever seen. I know I got recency bias. But, like Delray in Florida on that side is my favorite. I haven't spent a lot of time over in Naples, Clearwater. I know people love that, all that side. But this, like we walk down, like, all right, what's the situation? Where we get chairs? And, golf carts everywhere, which is another A-plus thing.
Totally agree with that.
The golf cart thing is unbelievable.
We should normalize golf cart use just in general. Anywhere you want. In your neighborhood. Go to the grocery store. Just get on a golf cart. I mean, if bikes are allowed to be on the road like it's the Tour de France, then you should be able to ride a golf cart. Hey, share the road. Huh? Share the road. Think about that.
And, but you walk down, the first thing, like white sand. Not a rock or a shell.
Fine sand.
And then the water is just turquoise. Like, it's...
A little warm, though. A little warm.
If I had something bad to say, the water might have been too warm. That's the only thing I could think of on this trip.
Hey, 38, let's ramp the temperature down a little bit for the big man.
But I'm thinking like February, March, April. That place has got to be just fantastic. And it passed the test where I was like, I could bring the golf cart. I could bring the family here. They got the seatbelts. Get that puppy up to 25 miles an hour. Head over to Grayton Beach. Little Chiringos, little Red Bar. Live music, incredible. Wasn't expecting that at all. But everybody's the vibe of it with everybody being from around that area.
And everyone's in a great mood because it's July, it's summer, and football hasn't started yet, but you can hear the drum beat in your ears. We've got media days going, got training camp starting, and you got EA, the college game
We're
coming
going to
out.
get to that.
We are going to get to that for sure. But everyone's in a great mood. No one's pissed off yet because their season hasn't been ruined. They don't want to fire their coach yet.
What? We're only an hour and a half from Tallahassee.
Oh.
Still... It was so funny. A bunch of guys from there, let's just say they got started before I did. Let's say I had Thursday or Friday night, and they're looking at me, and I could feel like, there's an outdoor bar, and then we were on the inside part at Chiringo's, and I could just feel like the
hate,
the staring. I get the so then come over.
Got a little lipper,
Fuck you guys in last year. But this year, I'm like, all right, that's fine. If we're just going to put it away last year, it's fine. I said, we'll be in Ireland. You coming to Ireland? Florida State, Georgia Tech, game day, week 0. And then actually a couple guys are going. So they were good. So not everybody was in a great mood. But moving past that first sentence from all the Florida State guys, everybody is in a great mood. It's an awesome, and the thing is the ages. You got bachelorette parties, you got families there, you got grandparents that have moved there, so you have every age range. And I didn't even know, but like by the beach in Grayton, there was like a 10:30 noise curfew. So like the bars there on the water got to close.
Wow.
But there are other places. And
speakeasies after hours.
Boy, let me tell you. It sucks getting old. Can't do it.
No.
Midnight came, and I'm like, no way.
But here's the thing.
No.
And for the younger listeners, you age out of certain stuff. You could hang with the fellas. It's great to see each other, catch up on life, this, that, and the other thing. Catch up on the mile markers, the landmarks. Maybe some sub-20 swims. We got maybe things that happen in life that are worth celebrating. And maybe you don't need to pass out on the floor.
Yeah.
And piss yourself. Because you could say, I did that. Not great.
Yeah.
Now I'm an adult and I'll behave accordingly. Doesn't mean that you have to not have fun. You just can have fun and then know when it's time to shut it down. I think that's what being an adult is understanding.
Yeah.
Like, when everybody holds up 4 fingers, that's when you hold up 5 and wave. Bye-bye. Night-night.
And just shout out to Tommy at Chiringo's. Huge fan. Has listened since day one.
Love you, Tommy.
Florida State guy. He's going to Ireland also. So
he didn't hate you and us.
No. He could feel what was going on. And then he's like, don't worry about that. What do you need? I'm like, there we go.
Hey, and listen, I go back to the night Chris Fowler came on with us that night and said any fan base would be pissed. 1,000%.
Yeah.
And also understand if you're not in that fan base and they look at you and go, with the quarterback situation, I kind of get it. But I totally get, I'd be mad for the rest of my life if I was a Florida State fan. Just not necessarily at a TV network, but you guys do what you need to do.
While we're on college football.
Yes?
What are you going to do?
Oh, you mean about the game?
Yeah.
Okay, so the game's out. It's out for some. I saw Big Cat PFT. A lot of streams are going.
Shocker. First access. They already got their lineup set up.
They should have it.
Life
hey, if I'm in the EA Sports, and I was in the family. I guess I don't know. Maybe you could send one to your boy. I don't know. I was just the voice of the Tiger Woods game. You sold a few units of those. Maybe just shoot one my way. What am I going to do? What I'm going to do is we're getting among the things at the house getting sorted out. is the gaming scenarios where you got to get all the stuff wired in together, the game will be played. And my young sons don't understand.
Oh boy.
You will taste.
Are you just going to go straight beatdown?
You'll taste the bottom of my boot. Okay?
Are you going to let them get up 7-9?
They're pretty capable. I mean, they play a lot of the different games when they're allowed the iPad time, and they just laugh at me like, you don't know how to play. I'm like, don't I? I don't know how to play on an iPad. I said, you ever held the sticks?
Yeah.
Boy, you don't know about the sticks.
When they had the cords on them, not this cordless stuff.
I had the Atari, buddy, with the red thing in the upper left. You don't know. I played Tank.
Pitfall. Never ended.
Right?
Never ended.
A game that didn't end. That's how desperate we were for things to do.
Remember boxing? It just had the head and the arms.
Yeah, there were. But let me tell you, if you got that, you're like, dude, so-and-so got boxing. We're going to his house.
Heck yeah.
Games have elevated a bit. Am I going to beat the Suns down? Yeah, they need to understand. There's his life. There's a scoreboard. Sometimes you're on the wrong side of it. We're going to fire up the dynasties.
Yeah.
And I look forward to figuring it out. My understanding from those who've played it might be give ourselves a little grace. You might need to ramp back up, and you knew how to play the old game. You might not be great at the new game. But I would just say to everybody out there, it doesn't need to be a contest of who loves it the most and who spends the most time devoted to building their dynasty. We can all just be happy it's here and enjoy it. How about that?
I saw a great post, and I think we are in that post that it was directed towards. It was a guy saying, I'm seeing so many people excited about this game coming back, and it feels like all of them 10 years ago didn't have a family and kids, and they don't understand they're not going to have that time to play it anymore. And I really thought, I'm like, wow, that's totally true. Like, days are shot. But you and I get most of ours in, like you always said, perfect wind down. We get home 2 a.m, throw on a game. Let's go on the road.
Problem is this.
It's not one game.
That's the problem. If we're honest with ourselves, and yes, this is true. You go back to the early ESPN days when I was hosting the late night, and you'd come home living solo downtown in an apartment. Kevin Frazier's like, do you know you're on television? That's where you live? Yeah, man, I'm good. I got a big-ass TV, and I come home and put on Halo. Oh, sun's coming up, still playing. You're going to have discipline.
Yeah.
The same discipline that's required when you're out and you know it's time to go home. No more beers, no more drinks. Get the Uber, go home, shut it down. You're going to need to know, but we go play at Oregon in 2 weeks. I just got to win this game. You could play Oregon some other time. You're going to have to, for the dads that are a decade plus down the road and don't have those windows to just binge a season.
Yeah. The binging season, that's done.
Done. That's okay.
Yeah,
because I'm in the peepaw lane. I was texting with Reese Davis about this. Like, we're at the point where we're going to age out of the demographic that people even care about. Like, they're like, yeah, these are the olds. They don't matter. We're both like, give me a new game and let's get it on.
Yeah, I was actually thinking, like, you have more time on our hand, like, during the day. Might, like, script my first 15.
Like that. I like that a lot.
Come out with a game plan, like, start assessing things.
I got to remember.
Treat really every game like it's.
I had thrown together a playbook that involved. I mean, it was elaborate, and we had gone through and picked. I don't know where any of these plays are. I saw Big Cat's got Shark Wheel, which is basically an illegal play. You all know, and you cheated. I went on with it. I'm not Poopy Stinks, by the way. Now, play whatever play you want, do whatever, put it on whatever settings you want. If you want to juice the ratings, do it. I have a question for you. This is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I have one actual question and then a fake but more important question. The actual question is, would you say that media days, the start of camps, or the release of this game has got people more excited about the upcoming season, the actual football season?
I think it's the game.
So do I.
Because you have not big college football fans invested in the game, whereas the true fan, your season ticket holder, probably doesn't, maybe because they're older, is not in the game, but looking towards media day. And it's getting to that level where, like, all your information is out there as far Media day used to be the first time we saw these guys.
Right.
Holy cow! What's his name? Cut his hair, and all this.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I think it's the game. I like you talk to people, just traveling, being in the airports and stuff, seeing commercials, and you hear people just talking, being out to dinner. It's amazing.
It really is
how much, and it's cool because like we were in that, like we waited for that game, we played it nonstop, and to think that it's 10 years, I think we got like what 3 or 4 years where you could adjust the ratings.
Oh no, they were
download the rosters.
Oh, that continued forever.
Yeah, I don't even know what console it was. Like
there were patches to rosters a couple of years ago. You could get the new. During COVID, there was nothing to do. We fired the game up.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, the guys from Part of My Take were doing the seasons and whatever, which was such a great reminder. Like, oh yeah, I got that game somewhere.
Yep.
Let's play this. That'll give us something to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. It is. It's the highest approval rating among people whose opinions I tend to interact with. It's just everyone's excited. Everyone seems to like it. Now, whether they're going to like the game or not, that'll be another thing.
Yeah, and then you're also going to get ready is like I wouldn't play with other like after college. Like, dude, we almost had fist fights in college. Like when the game was out, so all of us are in the game and we're playing, and I still say the worst shit talkers are video game shit talkers.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
I'll punish you physically in the real life. Like you hear it, like you see videos of these guys with the headsets on playing with. I thought Kyle Long did a video. He's like, man, I'm taking this thing off, and it's just. It goes to a new level. Like you said, play whatever you want, do whatever you want. I'm playing against a computer. I'm starting my own thing.
That's it. I'm not online. I got enough things in my life to deal with to have some 13-year-old kid in Euclid, Ohio, being like, "Hey, Van Pelt, your mom's a whore." What? I'll come to your house, kid.
Do you go offensive coordinator at Maryland and then you take a small job?
Don't go Temecula ever on people over a video game. No, I just start as the head coach and play a team.
Okay.
I got no time. I don't have time for that.
I didn't think you could start as a head coach.
What?
Yeah, I think you got to start as a coordinator.
In this new thing?
Yeah.
I don't have time for that.
Yeah,
I need to dive into recruiting immediately.
Slide into DMs.
I have this question for you, Stanford Steve. Those that remember back in the day, SVP and Russillo, when this game was happening, and I would create Stanford Steve, and then Alabama would get him, and then Oklahoma would get him, and then I would end up playing against Alabama in a title game against zombie Stanford Steve, and I got the Stanford Steve. I'm going to juice your ratings.
Uh-huh.
What rating is
First of all, make sure he's from Ansonia, Connecticut.
No,
he's always that I moved.
He's always from College Park.
No,
only chance to get him is to make him local. I can't make you from Ansonia. Then you're a national recruit, and I have no
Coach
chance.
Mora.
I gave you speed like Usain Bolt, and I gave you a hand cannon always. What rating do you want me to juice? Because I'm going to create a player. It's going to be you, and I always give you wheels. What do you want me to give?
I had him back in the day. It's hard to visualize that when people see me now.
All right, wheels. So speed it is.
Break tackles.
I can't just I can't just start at Maryland as the coach?
I don't think so.
Why?
I thought you had to do offense coordinator again before too.
Start a dynasty.
All right. Do whatever you want.
I don't know here's what I want. I want to be able to fire up the sticks.
I got to buy a PS5.
Well, there you go. Go to a store when this is done.
Yeah, I think I'm going to.
Get important stuff to sort out.
Give me the game, give me the console. A lot less, it's going to be easier too. A lot less wire stuff now that we're like everything's Wi-Fi.
Right, you're not going to trip over that.
Yeah.
And then pull the plug out or disconnect the game. On accident. Speaking of brawls. There was some gamesmanship back in the day, kid.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's the worst sportsmanship I've ever seen in my life involving video games and that game.
I have actual sports to discuss on the
Yeah,
pod.
let's do it.
I have this question. I want to know the answer. In a 162 game season, can the outcome of one game change the direction of a season?
Yes.
I agree, and I think the Orioles blowing the lead yesterday.
Oh, man.
And then coming back and winning. If they lose that game, they get swept by the Cubs and the Yankees back-to-back, and they go from having a 3-game lead the week of 4th of July to being behind going into the All-Star break. And wheels falling off? No, but, I mean, they've lost 3 pitchers to Tommy Johns. You just got swept back-to-back series in your own building. You blew a lead in the 9th inning, and it just feels like the opposite of how it should feel, which is, hey, you're one of the best teams in baseball, and you're good. You wouldn't feel that way. Them winning that game, I don't want to be ridiculous, but I just think it was a massive, massive result for Baltimore.
I had the red alert text to you and Maddie, who is our biggest Orioles fan.
About Kimbrel?
Works on our show. No, about the team.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I think when Santander hit that homer, that's the first time they had a lead in a game in a week. July 7th, somebody said.
Well, the Cubs came in, and apparently their starters don't give up runs.
Yeah.
And then the Yankees, and then there was that brawl, fisticuffs. You hit Kjerstad in the head.
Yeah, he didn't do it on purpose.
I understand that.
Under the emotions of
what was going on. Well, but then the Yankees
on.
start chirping.
No, they don't. They're class act, pinstripes. Come on. Shh. No, it was red. I was like, because she's on vacation. She was over at Wimbledon. I'm like, they might need you back in the States because it wasn't good since she left.
I didn't want to put it on her. I mean, she did leave the country. Things went south. I mean, I hope you're enjoying Belgium, though.
Yeah, wherever.
By all means, go and
tea time, not golf.
You can have this week until Friday, but then we're going to need you back front and center with your full attention on things. Look, the Yankees are obviously one of the best teams in baseball. Baltimore, I think, is as well. But you go into the break having lost all these games in a row, including the last one to them to end that series where you blow a lead in the 9th like that. And instead, you somehow rally. And look, you had some help there in the 9th inning, clearly. You had, Volpe made a mistake. And
error, and then Verdugo. Doogie. He owned it. I give him credit.
I do, too. And he's the kind of, if he's on your team, you love him. If he's on the other team lipping, you're like, God, I hate that guy. Yeah. That's the biggest compliment you can pay a player, that you love him on your team and you hate him on the other. So I'm good with that. And he did. He owned it. Whatever. It's one game. There's 66 left. It's odd. I looked at their schedule. They play as many games against the Mets in the second half as they do against the Yankees. Only 3 games left. Anyway, it's just one game. It just felt like it meant a whole lot more than just one game.
They needed it, man.
The way it would have gone.
Biggest homestand of the season today. Place was packed every game.
And a lot of Yankee fans in the building.
Still.
That's not an uncommon thing. That happens in a lot of stadiums. Yeah. A lot of stadiums.
One of the good things of baseball is that these teams now have, I mean, the Mets do it with the 7 line, is that there's a road package you could go and get tickets and hotels and like the whole thing. Teams have done a really good job. That I think it's helped attendance a ton, but your diehard loyals, when they go to a game and it's not for the first, it is for the first time, and they're like, what the hell are all these opposing teams doing?
There's a ton of people there, ton of Yankee fans. Did you watch any? Well, you were in 30A.
Yep. So,
well, I don't know. Did you get up early and be like, hey, fellas, we got Alcaraz and Djokovic?
I watched. Yeah, I was traveling yesterday, so I caught that. I'm soccered out though.
All right, we'll get to that in a minute. I just want. Right. I have this question to you. Am I the only person that likes Djokovic? Because I do.
I'll tell you right now. On the flight down to 30A, I watched the Federer doc, and I could not stop crying. The guy next to me was like, "Are you all right?" And then I showed him. He's like, "Oh, I watched it the other day. I get it. And like, I didn't have any tissues. I mean, I'm just snorting, bawling.
I haven't seen it. What's so emotional about
God. It documents his last 12 days before he plays with Nadal in that Laver Cup.
To say goodbye?
To say goodbye. And do you want me to tell you? There's a buildup, and he comes out with his retirement speech. Hey, this is what's going to happen. This is 12 days before this Laver Cup. He goes through his injuries. I can't do it anymore. He talks about the injuries. And he's like, I think this is the best way to end it. He's going to play doubles with Nadal in this Laver Cup. But then Nadal's having a kid, so they don't know if it's going to become official. And then the car door opens at the hotel, and Nadal gets out. And I just like the music changes. And then you see Federer, and the whole time he's doing this, he's like, I cannot get emotional. I don't want to cry. I want to play, and I want it to be. as anyone has ever said, as fluid, as classy, as
I love
crisp.
he was. I love the
He's
guy.
my favorite. My favorite.
You and me both.
And the build-up, and then they start getting into it. And then they go off a one-on-one with Nadal, and he's talking. Then they get Djokovic. And then Federer's talking about Djokovic like, I didn't think he had it back. I would just go at his backhand. And it's just a build. And then they're playing, and it's so heavy.
All right.
I'm telling you, I cried for the last half hour, and then I couldn't stop my nose. It was an awful scene.
Always great
Brutal.
when you're next to a big fella on a regional jet, and he's got full snot. He's weeping at a tennis dock.
And you know what I did the night before, if people really want to be sadder, is I watched the Celine Dion documentary. And boy, let me tell you, that's as sad. I mean, thoughts and prayers to her going through what she's doing. That's a horror. I never heard of it. And then she
nor had I.
explains it.
Nor had I. I don't know.
God, what's been taken from her is brutal. Anyway.
I'm not signing up for that much sadness. I'm looking forward.
You're back to your question about Djokovic.
Here's what. Let me be clear. Fed was always my guy, not my guy. He was the person I enjoyed the most for all the reasons you just said.
You like Nadal a lot, though.
I just love all. Here's the thing. I have so much respect for all of them and the appreciation for what the era was. And now he's the last man standing. He's 37 years old. Speaking of Djokovic, he's incredibly fit. Guy just had his knee worked on. He's playing a 21-year-old who, by the way, was brilliant and just shredded him yesterday. But I think here's what I'd ask. Was the Joker ever the guy the crowd was rooting for in any of the slams he won? No. He was just never the favorite. He was never the guy
coming
that
up against those two.
It was always the other guy. It didn't, and maybe there's players that he's more popular than, but not many. When I say I feel like I'm the only guy that likes him, I just think I get it. He's not for everybody. He's been brash, but he's an incredible champion,
no doubt,
and incredibly fit, and still he's in the arena at 37. That's 37 slam finals, and the door is shut on that, shutting almost completely for that trio. Fed's done. Nadal's essentially done. And I don't know how much more Joker's got, but it's going to be harder and harder to win him. And he's been a great player.
To your point, the tenacity of Nadal, the fluid and grace that Federer was, he needed to be different in a way, and that edge got him. But I'll still say, it's amazing how one guy feeds off the other. Like Federer, how good you had to be. Nadal, how you had to outlast him. Djokovic just said, I'm going to do everything better. And then him yesterday, knowing that it was done, had the tiebreaker, but then he comes back to push it and ties the third set. He has created an absolute animal inside of him. And, you got to stab him a million times to kill him.
Yeah, he's the guy.
I always said about the old Blackhawks teams. But now this Alcaraz, good luck.
Yeah, 4 at 21. He's
good luck, man, because his motor, he doesn't sweat.
No, he doesn't look tired.
No.
Djokovic doesn't really either. That's when he had 3 straight championship points that he's down 2-0 and down 40 love in a. If Alcaraz wins the next point, he wins Wimbledon. And Djokovic fights back and gets it to a tiebreak. And that's where. And I'm watching it with my boys, and I'm like, this is getting dodgy. He's like, it's 2-0. I'm like, if Djokovic wins this set, everything can change because now he's going to be like, I'm going to beat you in 5.
Yeah.
And Alcaraz likely doesn't blink or care, but I don't know. I just thought as I watched it, maybe I'm a little bit nostalgic too, just realizing that it's the end of the era. I hadn't seen this Federer doc, which I need to watch.
God,
which I will when I don't have boxes to unload and a dynasty to start. Put that on my things to watch list. You said you're soccered out between the Euro final and then the Copa final. You just what?
No, just the last 2 weeks. I found when we were in Outer Banks, I was doing lunches for the kids. The game was on. I'm watching that. And then the Copa was the thing. After dinner, the TV's on. You're putting aside the little kids like the soccer. A couple soccer guys on this trip I was with. So I can't. I think Rob Stone said last night, Copa had 62 games and 71 goals.
And 155,000 people that didn't have tickets that came in. That's frightening, man. That's frightening.
Bad.
And
we got the World Cup coming.
And I saw Twellman pointed out, he said the same thing happened at Wembley in 21. And then I saw people, naturally it's Twitter, so people corrected him, but it wasn't the same, and Wembley did a better job. There was nothing that could be done in Miami. Like, if you have that many people show up and just say, hey, we're coming in, what are you going to do? Well, I'd say what has to happen if you're the World Cup organizers is you say, all right, well, then we're going to need to have just like an armed situation in stadiums. You just say, listen, we're not fucking around.
Yep.
You're not doing this. This is dangerous.
Oh,
I mean, it's a frightening
not
scenario.
Only danger, but then you see the people that got screwed that actually paid the money and got tickets because they had to lock the stadium.
Right, and then I saw where it said that you got to your seats, and then there's somebody there, and the people said, "There's nothing we can do." I tell you what you can do. You can get the hell out of my seat.
Yeah,
my seat.
Yeah, and then there was cops like around halftime asking for the tickets, but you can't.
Yeah, what are you going to do for 100,000
game's 90 minutes? They delayed it over 80 minutes. That's bad.
Can we go back to Euro though, just because England didn't win again? Oh, by the way, soccer guy. Hey, good news. The men's national team's going to get a new coach, and so now whoever it is certainly will elevate the men's national team to a place that it's never been in any of our lives because it was the coach. So, I look at the fans of the United States men's national team and how I think they get not a little bit. I think they get irrationally angry over what U.S. soccer isn't. Imagine being England. And for most of your life, it's only been disappointment. And it's a sport that matters the most to you. I can't imagine that. And it's coming home. And then, of course, actually, it's not coming home.
It was never coming home.
Well, not against Spain.
Is unreal.
It felt like, and I'm not the most cultured soccer observer. I don't pretend to know, but I can tell that the red team could have scored a lot more.
Yes. And if McDonald's had uniforms, they would be Spain's. That's what I would think. Watching, I'm like, those are straight McDonald's colors, right?
I mean, the folks in Spain would say that's 4 euros that we've won, and we'll wear we'll wear the kits we feel comfortable in.
And that's the soccer deal I want to point out from an outsider that's not a soccer guy. But I'm so done with Brazil. People have put this team on a pedestal like I've never seen, and I haven't seen them win anything. They're so overrated. I would never bet on them. People are like, oh, well, this is the worst team they had. They haven't won anything. Go back to the World Cup final in Germany. They beat them 8-0.
That was a bad. They caught a bad one.
I'm so done with Brazil. I was happy for Colombia and Uruguay to make it as far as they did. Argentina's. I mean, you hear Brazil. Like, how about Spain and Argentina? You get a little more.
Brazil's the most successful national team in World Cup history. They won 58, 62, 70, 94, 2002. So I guess your point is
20 years.
It's been 20 years.
All right.
England's been significantly longer.
England, they're in their own tier of being miserable. But they're way more relevant than us.
Well, yeah.
Everyone is.
Steve said that, not Scott.
Is that what they want? They just want to be relevant? They want to be able to put their name in.
I don't know. They just.
You couldn't make the qualifier in the freaking Copa. Hire Twellman and fix it.
Bang.
There you go.
What are we doing? Put Twellman in.
Hire him. He'll fix it.
Tomorrow. Yesterday. Today. I like that. Would he do it?
Hire him.
Let's find out.
I'll be his cooler coach.
Be the hype man?
And the cooler.
I like that.
Post game, those babies will be ice cold.
So in review, Steve thinks Brazil's overrated. And,
yes.
And Twellman should coach the U.S. men's national team. The next thing I have on the list is Gordo.
Yes. Let's get to the fake golf of the week before we talk about the real golf of the week.
Oh, the fake golf of the week?
Fake golf's the Open Championship. The real golf is
we have the par 3 tournament at Royal Midway. And actually, just to go back to the very first Open I ever covered was 1997 at Troon, Royal Troon, and I went to a course there called Prestwick, which is the home of the first Open Championship. And they have this book that you can sign that says where you are and what your course you're affiliated with. And they've got this book dog-eared with where Palmer signed it. This is a true story, where Jack Nicklaus signed it. I've told this story 10 times. I'm going to tell it again. And so look it up. If you ever get to Prestwick, look for the book from July of 97, and you'll see Scott Van Pelt, and you'll see the club that I signed is Royal Midway. Now, Midway isn't Royal, all right? It's a par 3 course where we play, and it's become entirely too crowded. We're coming Friday, and we would like some space for the groups. But you know what?
It's over 20 years, right?
Easily more than 20 years that we've been doing this. And we've created a format. I say we.
Don't say we.
The reigning champ created a great format. The one-man scramble. Hit 2 balls, get 2 putts, shoot your score. And it's we've reached a stage in life where it might sound pitiful, but it's probably the most anticipated thing that we have in most of our lives is the chance to get out there, the fellowship, the bond. And so the par 3 event is this week. And then there's all the associated nonsense that goes on with it. But Royal Midway, Troon, 97, I was there. Justin Leonard won his only major with a final round 65 to chase down Jesper Parnevik, who wore purple pants on the last day. Purple pants on the last day for Jesper Parnevik. It didn't work out well for Jesper, but Justin won. God, I've been covering major championships.
Holy moly, dude. 30 years.
SVPod vision. You think you age out of stuff. I'm just, again, for the youngsters out there, don't blink. Don't blink. You wake up one day and you're older. Gordo's not. Gordo's young.
There he is.
Gordo joins us. Gordo, on social media, I enlisted the help of Big Cat, who goes after the airlines when bad things happen. I saw a bad tweet this morning. A driver broke.
Driver broke, but it could be a sign. You know, it could be the sign that we're going to get some clubs. Should one of my guys win the jug this week? You know, I'm trying to spend it positively.
Oh, so there you go. It's those that are not familiar with it, Gordo and I have a bet. He got to take like 26 players if they won a major.
5, right?
5.
One of which just won recently.
Davis Thompson.
Thompson, who you didn't invent, but you did. You were.
Are you best friends with him now?
We're now. You know, I think we're. We understand each other's role. He's the player. I'm the supporter.
Okay,
you know?
That's great. But if he were to win the Claret Jug, then you would get new clubs, and it wouldn't matter that your driver was broken. But we've enlisted the help of our friend who he makes sure that the airlines pay for their sins. You were with us in advance of Pinehurst. The double hammer came through. It's early in the week. We do like to give you more time to work on this, but the official tweet will come out when with your full array of picks.
Wednesday at noon, we will have the full card, and it will be pretty substantial like it was for Pinehurst.
Noon Eastern.
Eastern.
Are you fresh off playing out in Tahoe?
I am, yeah. But
How'd you play?
I've got the Freddie Mercury. It's already kind of there. We just got to get rid of the rest for,
Edge
for
that
week.
thing up.
But we played great. Mountain golf is unbelievable. Might be my favorite type of golf.
How long did it take
but
how long did it take to figure out the elevation and sort of your 8-iron goes X% more? Is that true? Is that a real thing?
Very true. Still haven't figured it out.
Oh.
You got to hit it a little harder for it to mean something, Gordo. That's the problem.
Like 6 irons going 220, which is like 35 yards longer than normal.
That's a big number for a 6-iron.
Yeah, we were struggling to get the numbers right, but we had a blast. Yeah, wow, Tahoe. Whew.
So you're in Tahoe playing golf. You're at 30A, and I'm unboxing my house. So awesome.
All right, let's get to it. Royal Troon, what matters?
Well, the thing is that they've changed it pretty substantially from 2016. Apparently, it's 9 new tee boxes. You're going to have some blind shots. It's like 200 yards longer than 2016, which isn't that crazy.
It doesn't. Length doesn't really matter over there. Links golf length is a totally inconsequential thing. I think, I having seen it a couple of times, I do think that the blind shot is a real deal. But what guys do, there's all these cranes that they use for the world feed and the BBC and the American TV, and guys use those sort of vertical. Those are the only vertical landmarks you have. So you have to kind of pick a crane to aim off of from tee boxes. It'd blow your mind, Steve, because Steve loves to walk like we do, Gordo, when we go to the PGA during a practice round and sort of see the lay of the land. You're standing on a tee and you look up and there's just this big-ass gorse bush in your face and you have no idea. It's a totally blind tee shot. I think for the average sort of, amateur player, it's hard to almost even envision how you would pull the trigger. You know what I mean?
absolutely. I mean, practice rounds that are going to be key. Caddies are going to hopefully have some of it figured out for them. They also apparently rough is up like significantly from
Fescue?
what it usually is. So Scott and I are kind of getting at accuracy off the tee way more important than length this week.
Uh-huh.
And then if you look at the guys who were in the top 5 to 10 in 2016, all of them were in the top 14 in scrambling. So find somebody who's accurate, has a decent enough iron game, and somebody who can scramble. Probably lands you at Tom Kim, but we can get to that in a second.
Tom Kim.
Kimmer was flirting with the cut line at the Scottish Open and then put his foot on the gas, very nearly a winner on Hartford, which would have been significant to some. But Scheffler just decided, you know what? I'd rather win because I'm here, and so he did again. But if the card comes out Wednesday, double hammer is what we want to know about. Is Kim a double hammer candidate?
It's not a parlay, is it?
Look, we were hoping that made miscut numbers would be out by now, but
no, we're not going to get them.
You can't double hammer or make the cut. That's a prop.
All right,
that's fine.
Let him go. He's cooking something.
All right.
Tom Kim is one of the two parts to this week's double hammer
parlay.
And you guys aren't going to like it, and that's fine. That's totally fine.
You know, good for you. Don't take any shit from us. If it wins, it wins. And all America and the rest of the world listening wants to know is what's the double hammer?
It's 15-4 last 3 years. Start there. And it's going to be sweaty. I mean, the interesting thing about as you called it, the 4 p.m. teaser at Pinehurst, Russell Henley and Colin Morikawa were inside the top 40, both of them, for a combined 143 of the 144 holes that they played at Pinehurst, and it was still a gruesome sweat because you're only like 2 shots back at any point, and you can have a double bogey. But Tom Kim, top 40, is half of the top 40 double hammer this week. There were 2 final candidates, Tommy Fleetwood and Shane Lowry, to join the Kimmer. And I would just be a little bit cautious on Fleetwood this week. I think he's going to be a super popular pick. He's been playing great. He's got 8 straight top 40s in majors.
Needed a top 20 out of Golf Jesus, and he didn't play well Sunday there at the Genesis.
He did not. And the problem with Fleetwood is he's made the cut on the number each of the last 2 majors this year and 3 times in the last 5. And that kind of scares me. Shane Lowry, meanwhile, 8 top 40s in his last 9 majors. The only time he didn't was at the Open last year when he missed the cut. And I actually kind of like the fact that he missed the cut at this event last year. So I think he's going to kind of walk in as a former champ and know what he needs to do. 14 straight made cuts this season on tour. And you put him and Tom Kim together, it's a plus 135 double hammer, 15 units. Get the towel.
15 unit. I say make it a 3-leg and throw Fleetwood in there. He's going to finish top 40. And just for a little sprinkle, come on. Make it a 3-leg.
That's my pick to win.
Fleetwood.
Yeah.
I'm going to have him to miss the cut, and which is probably a good sign for his winning since I had Bryson missing the cut at Pinehurst.
I was going to say that was my next line. Yeah. The last guy you had to miss a cut in the major won the championship. So I do have one question about the drop that Big Bob got, Big Bob McIntyre. First Scott to win the Scottish Open since Colin, I think, Montgomery in 91.
Yes, that's true.
And I'd say that he was owed something after last year because Rory McIlroy hit some absolutely sinister and insane shots to win. McIntyre could have won, would have been insanely popular then. It was hugely popular yesterday. He said in his press conference on Sunday, "What time's my press conference tomorrow? I'll still won't be able to drive. I'll still be too drunk to drive at the time we're doing it." Good for him. I mean, he won his National Open, but there was a drop because he's on a sprinkler head in the rough. Like,
and he's wearing metal cleats.
Where are we with that, Gordo?
Well, I have no problem with it. I mean, I think you can acknowledge that there was a severe amount of luck involved, but anybody, I believe, will tell you that winning requires luck, especially on the PGA Tour.
That's fair.
One of the luckiest things I've ever seen. I mean, what's the chances that there's going to be a sprinkler head where he's stepping around in the fescue, but he still he still hit it to 6 feet from 248 yards in the rough.
Yeah.
I thought useful. It was.
They should just turn that sprinkler head into a plaque for Bobby Mack.
I bet they do. I mean, Scott won it, and then he had to bury the putt on the last, and it's a perfect. It dies in the hole, and everybody goes nuts. I like him this week. I think he'll compete.
Oh,
he's been great in majors. He's got 5 strate top 40s. Runner-up last year.
Some liquid IVs.
That's fine. It's Monday. It's just
they got those over there.
I don't. They don't have ice.
No.
They don't.
No. How about live golfer? Give me one.
There's actually not a live golfer on the Monday at noon card. We've got 5 FRLs banked, double hammer banked.
Cue the live bots. Banked. Gordo hates live.
Can we get the FRLs real quick?
Possible FRLs. Can I say this one thing before you start?
Yes, because I know where you're going.
Well, I bet you do.
I think.
Because
maybe I don't.
We'll find out together. If there's any major where your FRL can be a complete swinger, the identity of whom most people listening to this pod right now are like, who is that? This is the event. I'll promise you, on page 1, day 1, there will be a name that the majority of the even decent golf fans will go, I don't know who this person is, but Gordo knows who that person is, and he might have him on the list. You're going to go way, way deep cuts for your FRLs here, aren't you?
Yes. So you've got, like last year was Cristo Lambert, which some people did know just because he's got like the 6'6" part, like or 6'8". He's like kind of famous for his height. Yeah. He's also good. But it was Cristo Lambert last year.
Amateur hits at 8 miles, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly. Amateur from South Africa, plays at Georgia Tech. We're going to have 3. So the way I'm kind of building it out is we've got 6. 2 of them are, I think you should pick 2 who are just your guys that you like rooting for. So for me, that's Cameron Young and Davis Thompson. Then you should go to 2 guys over 150 to 1 that you've never heard of. So I'm looking at the amateur list on the field on the open.com right now. There's only 2 American amateurs. The other ones, there's 12 in the field. So there's 10, and I haven't heard of 7 of them. Like I've heard of Jasper Stubbs and Santiago de la Fuente because we've seen him at the Masters.
Right. Who
I
hasn't?
don't know if other people
who
right.
hasn't.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to find, WAGR is the amateur world ranking site that'll show you how they've done in the counting events.
Got that bookmarked on the phone.
There are some events like qualifiers that won't be on WAGR.com, so you'll have to do a little bit digging. Might have to go to their social media accounts, see if they've posted any good finishes, et cetera, et cetera. That's what happens between now and Wednesday.
Okay.
All right.
So,
but Marcel Siem, 170 to 1. He won on DP World Tour. He's older, so one of those 150 to 1 long shots. Hopefully, it's an older guy that you've never heard of. He's a decent name. So he's on the card, 171. Young, 55. Thompson, 80. And then we'll find out some.
Seems a great one.
From New Zealand. Who knows?
He's got the man bun, and he's a guy that has been in this championship in particular on page 1 a decent amount. So I like that. I'll probably take a top 20 nibble on him. Why wouldn't I?
Van Royen.
Ooh,
FRL.
That's not bad. EVR he played well.
Is Toasty playing?
I don't know. Is Toasty in the field?
Let's see.
Toasty out there.
That's the guy we met at the.
Did you see McGinnis's tweet yesterday?
He will not be there, unfortunately.
Oh, man, no Toasty.
When it's between McIntyre and Adam Scott, McGinnis tweeted, "It's going to be a Scott or a Scott."
McGinnis is.
Love you, McGinnis. I know you're listening.
I hope you're doing well, boy. And I hope everything's good with your baby. He sounds like Wright Thompson, or he sounds like John McGinnis. You should know, Gordo, that I see that Big Cat has has expressed to the airline involved that this is an unacceptable situation that needs to be fixed.
Oh, that happened on an airline. I thought you did it on the course.
No.
Wow.
Why would I get Big Cat involved unless an airline was involved? And he's explained to them that they need to fix it right this second. So either
check the door. They might not be a new driver at the door.
Either the airline will sort this out, or one of your guys will win this weekend, and I'll have to get you brand new clubs.
I got 4 of them in the field, which is the most I've had in a field since we made the bet.
Chances elevating.
Stakes is high.
That's a fact. All right, Gordo, good to see you. Have a great week.
Thank you.
Enjoy the greatest championship in the sport.
What?
My final comment before I go, it's about Davis Thompson because he's 150-1. Please put him on your winner's card at 150-1. I just want to remind you of the Wyndham Clark situation last year, right? He gets his first breakthrough win at the Wells Fargo. A month later, wins the U.S. Open. This sort of thing happens kind of often. At 150-1, I really do think it's a worthy play. Not only because he's in this bet that we have, but an actual thoughtful sort of comment there that I wanted to get in there before we. You
just love your guy, and it's fine. You don't have to explain it. All right, Gordo,
thanks
enjoy
the support.
Enjoy the Open. Good luck.
Yeah, make sure you make curfew. We got early tee times. You got to get up for to watch.
It's the best.
Yep.
Absolute best. Cheers,
All right,
Gordo.
boys.
Have a great one.
Thanks, bud.
There he is, Gordo, everybody. I said it's the greatest championship in the sport.
Yeah, what was that about? It's not the 5th major.
It's just my opinion. I'll put it to you this way.
Hold on. How long are those weeks over there?
It's like dog years.
Seriously,
it's like a month of real time because they start playing at 6:15.
They don't stop.
It doesn't get dark until 10. You turn on BBC and there's Sam Torrance and someone hits a shot on one and that's useful. That's a useful shot. I told the story 100 times. I'm telling you, it's 7 o'clock.
Good.
It's 7 o'clock in the morning.
Oh man,
it's raining. You just hear the rain hitting.
Do you think his head is just leaning on the microphone?
I'm convinced he's asleep. And when he hears Henny Otto's shot hits the green, oh, that's useful. Not really, Sam. Wasn't particularly useful at all. Here's why I say it's the greatest championship. Because they played for it since 1860 and they invented the game. It's okay to sometimes bow down and acknowledge that a great the greatest championship in the sport's the oldest one in the place that invented the sport. And here's the other thing. It's like if I asked people to tell me, hey, what's the best restaurant in the world? And you say, well, it's this. I say, okay. Well, I say it's that. No. Have you ever eaten there? No. Oh, see, I've eaten in all of them.
Yeah, okay.
I've seen them all.
All of them.
And so what I'm saying is, and it's when you get there the Sunday before and you're driving through the countryside and there's some golf course and there's people walking with just this group and you wonder, what's that? Oh, that's qualifying. And somebody that's out there is going to get into this tournament and they're going to play. And they have absolutely no chance of winning. 0. But it is truly the Open. And they played for it longer than any other. Augusta National, my favorite place to go. A tremendous championship, obviously. It's okay to just say, you know what? 1860, invented it. Claret Jug, what's up? Champion golfer of the year. It's just a fabulous event.
Is it harder to read the green greens at Augusta or the brown ones at True?
Oh, it's easy to read. It's easy to read Augusta. It's just hard to putt. You know what you have to do. Just the question is, can you? Whereas over there, well, you could putt from 60 yards off the green when it gets running. As you'll hear Mike Tirico say, I'm sure, biscuit brown. That's the term when it gets just baked out and firm and fast. I get that it's not for everybody, and you turn it on and it looks like a cow pasture or whatever. You can say whatever you like. I'm just telling you, I think it's a great event, and we'll be up early on Thursday and Friday, trying to get our mind right for our event. Going through stretching regimen. Trying to remember, all right, what do we hit on 1? Rained on Thursday.
No tees, all the mats.
It's true. Greens, gotta have to see how they're running. Probably running about a 5 on the stimp meter.
So this is over 20 years.
It's
right,
maybe 30.
30.
Not
Worst
quite.
possible person won it last year.
Correct.
Have you won it?
Not with the new format.
Oh, so that's why they did it. They changed the format because you won.
I don't think so.
I do.
No, I don't think so.
Mm.
No, it's, and I don't even know what I won. I just know that when I going through the boxes, I have a trophy from the early days, and I'm thinking, was it just awarded ceremonially? I don't recall. I think maybe it was the format now is very different, much more competitive, much more organized than it once was. So,
Okay.
we're gonna need to get some mat time in every day. It's 100 degrees here.
Oh, man.
So, it's okay. I'll go nude on the range. I don't care. Hey, there's a naked guy on the range. Just let him be. He's got a big event coming up this week.
No range at the Royal Midway.
It used to be, but then they sold it.
Really?
Yeah, there used to be a range adjacent.
Where the condos are?
Correct.
Oh.
We're all terrified that someday
prime real estate.
they're going to sell the actual course and build out houses. We can't have that. If we get to buy it, we got enough to buy it. We'll buy it before you sell it. So,
All right.
So between the Open and our event, it's a big week. Hopefully we'll figure out what we got in these boxes. Still a couple things I can't find, but mostly I found all the things that
You'll get there.
we are, and we're mostly there.
Did you something that you totally forgot about that you opened about? You're like, oh my God, it's been a year.
90 pairs of pants.
Didn't wear pants for
just an
18 months.
Just an embarrassing realization that I have entirely too much stuff. But it did.
How about some of those old jeans?
Real stiff, kind of some wider legs at the bottom. And I did what my wife late one night just heard the door slam. I'm in the closet and I'm putting on every pair of pants that I found. I swear to God, every pair of pants I had, I put them on to see A, do they fit? And B, will I ever wear these again? And the answer to many of those trousers was not a chance. So the good news is we have a really big pile that will be donated, many of whom, they're not a whom, many pairs never before worn. Not a single butt in them.
Wow.
Which is an embarrassment.
And you bought them.
Bought them. Now,
pre-married?
No, I think I sometimes
Really?
I just get to click and I'm like, hey, these guys look like a comfortable trouser. Why don't I get some of them? Then I just put them in the closet. And now they've either, I don't know if I don't know what possessed me to buy them in the first place, but now no chance I'm wearing them. So there's a significant donation.
You wear jeans?
I like jeans.
I haven't worn a pair of jeans in I don't know how long.
I was just going to say, I don't know what happened last.
Radio days.
I was going to say, what happened more recently? Me running at top speed or you wearing jeans? Probably you wearing
Me wearing jeans.
Probably.
Because
I haven't run at top speed.
Don't run top speed outside. Don't start today out there.
Today won't be the day.
Holy hell.
But yeah, no, there's
girls are at soccer camp. I'm like, all right, have fun.
Wait, important on the way out, because I think we're done.
You don't swim?
We got one more meet.
Really?
I think.
Yeah.
We missed a couple, but we're all right. It's always like it's a lot in a short period of time. I'm thinking of the stuff I have. Where do you keep the gear that you've accumulated through the years? Because you have to have as much of that as I have of pants.
So
do you have a room just for Dad's quarter zips?
No, I have multiple closets, and now.
How many does your wife have? You have more closets than your wife? You do. Yes.
No, because she has the majority of our walk-in in our bedroom.
Okay.
I might have taken a guest room closet, but now the older one wants her own room. That's the room that I have the closet. So there's been an ongoing negotiation.
You can have the room, Dad gets the closet.
That's basically where we're at right now.
Because Dad needs a separate closet for all of the quarter zips.
I wear my stuff, though.
I know that.
Know?
I'm not saying you don't. You got a handsome Naval Academy quarter zip today.
Go Navy.
Anchors away, beat Army. But I just thought as I was going through my stuff, and I have entirely too much stuff, I'm thinking, I can't imagine how much gear and you must have your own sneaker closet.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Probably get rid of it.
You don't have 50 suits like I got. So, I mean, you
definitely don't have that.
You don't need them.
Might be up to 6.
6 suits?
I think so, yeah.
Look at you.
I bought a blue one.
A full suit or just a blazer?
Full suit.
Really?
Yep.
When's the last time you wore a full suit?
I have no idea.
This is great. Let's stop talking. This is like we could do this on the couch. America's tuned out.
All right.
Anything on the way out or goodbye?
Good luck this weekend. I'm rooting for you. Screw all those guys.
There's something I'm going to tell you off air that I can't tell you on air. Next week, I'll tell you what the secret was that I told him that will be unveiled this week at the tournament. That's the tease to get listening for next week. Oh, by the way, we taped the One Big Thing episode.
Oh. Great.
Me, Jon Stewart.
What?
Otis.
Oh, boy.
And Dipper.
Oh.
Dog talk. It's heavy.
Cry?
Nope. I got to one place where I thought I might, and I held. John was kind of rooting for me to cry. He was trying to push me over the edge, but somehow I held it together.
All right.
But look for that coming soon.
That'll be awesome.
All right. Have a great week. We'll see you.